Hello, welcome to the latest video in our MBM Draw and More Results analysis series. So today we're going to be looking at the results for yesterday, which was the 26th of January 2022, and we're going to go in chronological order rather than me doing corners, draws, unders as a batch, so I'll show you what I mean. So the first bet of the day yesterday was actually a double, which I don't really like doing, but it came up on both systems, so I wanted to present the data as it was rather than sort of using intuition, which often gets me in trouble. So it was in Mexico. Unfortunately, one of the selections wasn't the draw. If it was the draw, we'd have been buzzing. When I woke up and I looked at the sofa scores, I thought, oh, brilliant, it came in 2-2. We didn't bet on the draw. We were betting on under 2.5 goals, and as you can see, that one flopped. The equaliser was with the 79th minute, but I mean, it was 1-1 at half time, so it didn't pan out how I would have liked it to. And it was also a corner bet of over 9 corners. And at 2-2, you'd expect there to be quite a lot of attacking, and over 9 corners would have been realised, but there were 7 corners. It took me quite a lot of time to find how many corners there were, because I didn't bet on this myself, so I had to go back and find the stats, and it's not that easy, but 7, yeah. So lost 2 points on that first game early morning, annoying. Next up was the Indian Super League. Now this was another 2.5 goals bet. As you can see, it was 3-0 and it was 2-0 at half time, and the first goal was after 12 minutes or something. It was a complete flop. And I'm going to say it now, I'm not putting any Indian Super League games in the selections anymore, even though they will probably come up in the stats, although surely they'll stop coming up soon. But at the moment, they do crop up. And when I'm doing my own betting, or when I was doing my own betting, using a bit of intuition mixed with stats, I'd never use it. I'd never use the Indian Super League because it's so unpredictable. And it's oh man, I don't know if you've watched much of it, but it's hard to watch. Yeah, look, 3-0. I'll put it in there because the stats suggested it, but I'm going out there now and saying, even if the stats suggest it next time, I'm not putting the ISL in because I just can't get a handle on it. I mean, if you look at the stats, the graph at the bottom, it looks like a pretty even sort of spread of possession, but nah, anyway, we'll move on. Not a great start to the day, but the draws were brilliant yesterday. So this was the first of the 3 draw selections in Belgium in the Pro League, and it ended 1-1. And this was, I think it was we'll see at the end, but I think it was at 3.85 we got on this one. So brilliant. There were only 3 draw selections and we got 2 out of the 3, which is amazing. And considering the system started off purely as draws and the others were added in after, I always favour the results of the draws. These are the ones I work the hardest on, and the other stuff is sort of additional, but it does, if you do bet on all of them, sometimes you can get the other stuff taken away from your profit of the draws if you have a good draw day. But admittedly, if you lose out on the draws, sometimes the others will sort of back you up and sort of give you a bit of profit there. So, but I would always advise, if you're worried about over trading or over betting, stay with the draw selections and sort of choose the under 2.5s and the corner selections accordingly, to fit in with how much you want to stake on the day. If you don't want to stake if you don't want to bet on every match, which I wouldn't recommend, to be honest, if there's 9 games like the way yesterday, I think 9 bets, then prioritise the draws. So 1-1, brilliant, delighted with that one. The next one was in the 3rd division in Germany, and it ended 0-1, which was unfortunate. This would have been a clean sweep. So yeah, the away team won 1-0. So when I saw the away team go up in the second half, it was 0-0 at half time. When I saw I wasn't too worried because I could see that the home team were actually on top, and I thought, yeah, that could work. And if you look at the graph at the bottom, you can see that the home team was more than in the game, and it wouldn't have been unreasonable for us to expect that equaliser to come, but it didn't come. But I'm happy with the selection. And then the next one was in France in League 2, and this one came in at 1-1 as well. Again, delighted. Really good odds as well, as you'll see at the end. So 2 out of 3 draws on any day is amazing. If you get 1 out of 3, you're normally about 0.45 or whatever the odds were up, because you'll lose two points for the 2 that you didn't win, but then you'll normally make 2.4, 2.5, anything up to 2.8. So you'll always be up if you get 1 out of 3. So 2 out of 3 is brilliant. So let's carry on now. This was a corner bet in Germany 3rd League, and I put this up on Twitter actually because this one was over 10. I think it was 1.90. over 10 corners, and there were 15. This bet came in after 50 minutes. I think it was around 50 minutes it flew in, this one. So I was delighted with that as well. Always nice when you've got a lot of corners at half time, and I think there were 8 at half time. So you're not really too worried about it then. So you could have cashed out then, but I think most people would wait a few minutes and see what happened. And sure enough, it came in at about 50 minutes, so that was brilliant. West Brom Preston. Now, I watched this game. I watch quite a lot of Championship football because I'm a Blues fan. God, watching Blues games is pretty grim most of the time. Normally, I think West Brom will be quite entertaining. They've got quite a good attacking setup, but yesterday they were rubbish. I mean, what's it say? Shots on target 4. I'm not even sure if that's. Oh, sorry, no, 0. Yeah, shots on target. West Brom didn't have a 1 shot on target at home to Preston. It was a really bad performance from West Brom. Even though it says 7 corners in the end, that 2 or 3 of those were in the 90th minute, and it was when Preston had the ball in the corner. So really, I think up until the 85th minute, there'd only been like 4 corners or 5 corners. So it was a complete bust in terms of our bet. And it was, I was shocked at how poor they were. And it's the first time they've lost in forever at the Hawthorns. So I feel a little bit unfortunate that we got on that one just as they decided to sort of play that way. I mean, Ishmael doesn't play as attractive football as previous West Brom managers might have. He just tends to try and grind out results. But they still had players like Dean Garner, Colin Grant. They brought on, what's his name up front? Is it Townsend? No, not Townsend. The one who used to play for Preston, Irish chap. But yeah, they had players who were capable of going forward, but yeah, he was rubbish. And the last bet of the day, the last bet was this Mexican game, which was under 2.5 goals. And as you can see, the goals didn't come until the 79th minute and the 90 plus 10. I hadn't noticed that. So yeah, that one came in. This was one of the ones that was only in at 1.50 pre-match. So some people might not have got involved in this because, as I recommended, you might want to wait for the first goal to go in 20 minutes, and it didn't go in 20 minutes, so a lot of people might have given this a swerve. But as it was on there, I thought I'd report on how it ended up, and it ended up 2-0. So we made, I think it was 0.50 profit on that. So yeah, let's have a look at how we did overall. So it was a bit of a disappointing one when you get to look. I mean, I shouldn't say that because any profit is good profit. So as you can see, total we got 1.66 points. So yeah, it's not disappointing because we're chipping away, and if you can turn a profit every day, you're going to be delighted, aren't you, come the end of the month, which is when I like to sort of gauge how we've done. I think it was just a few too many bets on there for me. The draws were amazing, so if I'd have left it as the original draw system and not added the other stuff in, would have been, about 3 or 4 points up. The corners were really disappointing yesterday, as you can see, 7s when we're looking at over 9 and over 10. Like I said, I've put plus 0.66 by accident there for the Bengaluru game, but don't worry, it hasn't been included as a plus in the total. That should say minus. Yeah, I'm never having the ISL again, and I'm going to try and avoid having 2 bets on one game as well. I don't like to do that, and I think it might have been a bit of an oversight on my part, to be honest, even though you would have expected the corners to come in that Venados game. It's not ideal, so there's things we can work on, but plus 1.66, I'm talking all doom and gloom. I should be delighted. It's only because it took the edge off the good draws, I think. But another winning day. It's 3 in a row that we've turned profit, and yeah, I'm happy with it. It's just I'm super critical, so I hope you enjoyed the video and join me again for the next one.